Hello, everyone, and welcome to the second episode of the James Morningstar podcast. Today we have a very special guest with us, my lovely girlfriend, the love of my life, Marilyn.
Hi guys, you guys can't see me, but I'm waving right now. It's nice to be here. I think it's really cool that you have a podcast, and I get to be a part of it,
Hell
even
yeah!
though they're here for you.
Well, now they'll be here for you as well.
Yeah.
All right. So, in the last episode, we asked you guys to ask me questions and that I would answer them in the next episode. So now, Marilyn, would you please start reading the questions from the people, please?
So we've got a couple of people asking several questions, so I will be going back and forth through some of them.
Mm-hmm.
This one is from your boy Robin, and they ask, are you ever uncomfortable recording NSFW requests at all?
Well, thank you for your question, Robin. I am not really uncomfortable with this stuff. I'm also like a pretty open person sexually. But the one thing is that it is kind of funny to me though. Like initially when I read the request, I kind of chuckle to myself a little bit just because it's funny to be like, this is what I'm going to pretend to do. You know what I mean? But yeah, other than that, no, it's not uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, it's not very like you. I mean, from personal experience, having lived with him, he was never really shy of announcing that, like, he wanted this, like, sexually. But like not in a weird way. It's just he's never been like shy about it. Which is, I think it's a good trait to have to be not unfiltered, because like you don't want someone to just be like NSFW 24/7 outside in public.
I'm not
but
that way.
To be you're not that way. But to be honest about like your sexual preferences and be honest and open with your partner about it. Refuge Daydream asks, what is your go-to sweet treat?
I'm not really picky with sweet stuff. I like most of them as long as they're not too sweet. But shout out to, we call it traditional ice cream in Persian. It's what it's called, traditional ice cream, bastani sunnati. It's like ice cream with saffron and solid pieces of like cream or whatever. And falude, which, we mix those together. Falude is kind of like frozen, sweet, lemony type noodles. If you have Persian ice cream near you, go get saffron traditional ice cream with falude. And yeah, shout out to that. I'm not really picky, but as long as it's not too sweet, I'm cool with it.
If any of the listeners out there have a Persian like restaurant or something like that near them, definitely would recommend. I had a Persian restaurant from one of the cities I used to live in before I had went to live with James. It was amazing. So definitely go check out not just the like dessert, the ice cream, the food. Is there a headcanon for Baxter that you have that is not shown in game, but you believe it to be 100% canon?
Yes. So when I go to streams of people playing Our Life and there are Baxter and Cove scenes, I'm always like, screw Cove who, I poke fun at him and stuff. But in my head, I would love to believe that this is 100% true, that Baxter is always, lovingly teasing Cove and being like, oh, come on, just have a little threesome. Yeah. So that's, I guess, the headcanon that I believe to be 100% true, even though GB Patch has not put it in the game. So.
All right, and that one's from your boy Robin as well. Exy asks, what's your favorite color?
My favorite colors are yellow, pink, and sky blue or cyan. I love all colors, but I identify with these ones. But, I don't always wear these colors. I have many different options, but these are the colors I identify as. What about you, my love?
Yeah, I mean, like, after meeting you, yellow has become one of my favorite colors, and like naturally, it wasn't just because like, oh, my boyfriend likes yellow, so I'm gonna like yellow too. Like it wasn't forced upon me. It just like naturally happened. Um, and like yellow is a really beautiful color. Like, otherwise, pink has been a good one, and also green. Yeah.
Yeah, and green as well. I used to not really like green that much, but ever since meeting you, it has become a really lovely and peaceful and earthy color to me. So that's also a change that I've experienced.
This question is from Zella Petalcliff. When did you last sing to yourself? To someone else?
I do this all the time. I sing to myself all the time. I sing to someone else all the time. Like, let's just say present moment, I always sing stuff. Like, before recording this podcast, I was playing Genshin with Marilyn, and she was, she's a Genshin god, and I am a Genshin noob compared to her. But she was like, "Oh, let me take you to this place," and just the phrase "let me take you" for some reason reminded me of Strawberry Fields by the Beatles. So I was like, "Let me take you down, 'cause I'm going to Strawberry Fields." So it just happens all the time. So present tense, always.
I can confirm that. He would always sing like 24/7 when I was living with him. Like that's a good thing. Because I mean, I just love his voice, and like
Aw.
it's just nice. Amlet asks, if you had the opportunity to voice any character at all, not specifically our life, who would you want to voice?
I would love there to be an animated series of Undertale, and I want to voice Metaton. I've always related with him, and I think that I would do a good job. Good job, honestly. So please, 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 the universe, please make this happen.
Yes. Your boy Robin, once again, asks, how did you and your girlfriend meet? Tell us more about her.
Okay, so it was about 3 years ago, and I wasn't really interacting with the community like I do now on Twitter and stuff. But one day I was like, I want to go to the GB Patch Patreon, see what's up. And I saw that they were streaming Our Life. I was like, oh, let me join. And so
this was on the Discord.
Yeah, this Discord of GB Patch.
Patreon Discord.
Yeah. And so I joined, and you can take it from there.
Yeah, at that time I was a part of the Patreon Discord for GB Patch. It was sometime after the game officially came out. So like November 20 something. But anyways, I had become pretty active there, kind of streaming and hanging out with people. And then like there are familiar voices as well. Yeah, then one day an unfamiliar person had joined, and then we kind of just went about, because it's like it's not unusual for people to join voice chat and be like, oh cool, what are you guys doing? And we were streaming Our Life. Well, I was streaming we were all taking turns like voicing a character, so we would have a person voice a designated character as we played through the game. We reached step 3 when Baxter was about to appear, and James had said in the voice chat, like, oh hey, I can go ahead and voice the lines for this character. And we were like, okay, like I said, we all had characters to voice, so it wasn't like anything unusual, like nothing tipped us off. And then like a second later he was like, yeah, by the way, I'm Baxter's voice actor. And oh my god, no way. So yeah, I had then accidentally on purpose sent him a friend request. Like I had wanted to, but also not wanted to. But he had already accepted before I could take that.
Yeah, because in that voice chat or whatever, she was, and I don't exactly know why, but she was the only person that I was interested in talking to more. And I don't know exactly why, again, but I've always had a thing for pleasing voices to listen to, and her voice has always been pleasing for me. And so maybe it was that, or maybe it just played a part in it. I don't exactly know, but whatever the reason, I'm glad, that it happened. And so, yeah. So she messaged me and very randomly was like, would you, as Baxter, sing Fabulous from High School Musical?
Yeah. So I did not come up with that one on my own. It was an idea that a person from the voice chat at that time had like construed up, where it's like, oh, if we ever meet Baxter's voice actor, I think it would be funny because I think this song matches Baxter. It was pretty funny because, like, as the first interaction, be like, can you do this humorous thing? We had talked for like maybe at most a day, and then I had told him that I had a crush on him, like, immediately. Yeah, I didn't want it to be awkward between us. I had just told him just to like let him know.
Mm-hmm.
I had said things like, I don't want it to be awkward between us. We can just act and talk like we're friends. I don't mind being just friends. I'm good. You don't have to treat me any different, etc.
And I was like,
then, he was cool with it.
Yeah, I was like, it's totally fine. Don't worry about it. We're good. I'm flattered. All that stuff.
Yeah.
So anyway, long story short, we started talking and becoming more friendly. And we talked for hours, like from night to morning and stuff like that. And at some point, some private conversations happened that made me realize that I had a crush on her. And one thing led to another, and we started living together. And the rest is history.
Yeah. Worthy asks another question. It says, what is your favorite music genre or genres? I guess this can also be included alongside this question, but what made you decide to create your own music?
So I've always been, like, ever since I can remember, I've always been interested in music, and I knew I wanted to sing for people. Like, I don't have a memory in which that wasn't something I knew. And so, growing up, I learned the music skills and stuff to do that properly. And it was really simple, something I was always passionate about in my life, and I learned how to do it, and I wanted to do it, so I did it. That's kind of that part. But the genre stuff with music, I don't really believe that. Like, I believe all genres of music are objectively equal and special and good for certain moods. Literally, I have a playlist that I listen to that's 85 hours long, and I always put it on shuffle, and it has songs like from Bohemian Rhapsody to Post Malone to Bad Bunny to the Beatles to Frank Sinatra to Undertale music. Like, I love the variedness of it all, and I love the little shock I get, like that. It goes from a ballad to My Shot from Hamilton or whatever. That's something that I really enjoy. And even with my own music that I create, even the songs that I put out currently and the one that I'm working on right now, they all sound different style and genre wise, but I always carry my personal vibe with me throughout all the songs. And so I always love experimenting and trying different things, whether it's listening or creating music.
On Patreon had asked, what led you to pursue voice acting?
The story that I told on the last episode of the podcast with how I got the role of Baxter kind of plays into this. That same friend of mine who creates awesome Sims Machinima series and stuff, is my oldest friend who I've been friends for 8 years and stuff. I was interested in the stuff she was creating, and so I was like, do you want me to voice a character in this thing? And she was like, yeah. And she told me that, oh, you're so good at it, you should kind of maybe do it professionally as well and try it out. I was like, okay, cool. So I tried it, and then that led to the Baxter thing, and then I made a Casting Call Club profile, and then you guys know the rest.
Amlet asks, which Baxter would you be more likely to cosplay? Step 3 or Step 4 Baxter?
Step 4 Baxter. There's something about the matureness, the maturity of the Step 4 Baxter that I really prefer. So Maybe that one.
Refuge Daydream again asks chicken sandwich or burger, and then part 2 onion rings or fries.
Chicken sandwich and fries. Moving on.
All right, straightforward and honest. Worthy asks, do you eat an ice cream sandwich with a fork and knife? This is going off of one of JB Patch's Q&As where I had asked if Baxter eats an ice cream sandwich with a fork and knife.
No, Baxter doesn't, and I don't either because we're not insane. Moving on.
Refuge Daydream asks, what's your love language? Bullying and biting do count.
Well, you can tell me, since you are my lover, so you can tell me what my love language is.
Well, I think you pretty much do all 5 of them. Yeah, I mean, that would be personally up to you, what you like think specifically is your love language, like giving, receiving, etc. But yeah, you do basically all 5.
I think I love all 5 equally. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
again, different moods, call for different love languages. But I do think I prefer all of them equally and in appropriate times. And with you, I would say is touch, isn't it?
Yeah, physical touch is definitely my biggest love language.
You do those other ones as well, but like touch is way higher on the list, I think, for you.
Yeah, absolutely. And then like next after would be like quality time or something.
Yeah.
So Zella once again asks, when you're having bad days, what do you do to cheer yourself up?
I listen to the specific songs that help me express my current mood. So, if I'm feeling sad, I'll listen to some songs that are expressing sadness in a specific way that I'm feeling sad, and I'll sing along to them, and they make me feel better. Other than that, I tell Marilyn, hey, I'm having a bad day. Would you please show me affection and be sweet to me? I really need it right now. What about you?
I definitely do my best to comfort him and give him like lots of love and reassurance. And then as for me, since you asked, well, besides asking you for like reassurance and comfort myself from you, I kind of like try to separate myself from the situation first to kind of get a clear like mind space before I try and think back on it, because I don't know, I sometimes I'm worried I might feel worse or something if I like
dive into it.
Yeah, dive into it, especially like when I'm feeling bad.
Yeah.
All right, so Refuge Daydream asks, what's your favorite writing trope? What's your least favorite?
So I don't know about my least favorite, but my favorite, I don't know if this is my favorite, but I really need Phoenix Wright and Miles Edgeworth to get together. Enemies to lovers for the win.
That's a really good trope. I like that one. Yeah, as far as like tropes, writing tropes with like relationship stuff. What was something silly you were afraid of as a child from Refuge Daydream?
I don't think this is silly in the sense that it's invalid or whatever, but I'm not religious now, but I grew up in a religious family, and when I was really young, I was afraid of sinning and going to hell, the typical like religious family kids stuff. But now I think it's silly, but obviously it happens, with these types of families.
Yeah.
How about you?
Butterflies. But yeah, so I have a story with this one. My biological mother had told me that what is it? Is it their proboscis? I don't know. The fucking straw thing that they use for their mouth to drink nectar. Excuse me for not knowing how to pronounce the word. I totally forget. But anyway, she had told me as a kid that they're used to like drink the blood out of people.
What?
And now it was pretty weird. And now I'm pretty sure she just said that because she didn't want to catch a butterfly for me. But yeah, it made me scared a little bit for like a short period of time of butterflies. Are you a cat or dog person? If neither, what pet do you prefer?
I love animals in general. I have had a cat and I have had dogs. Initially, I just gravitated towards dogs more, but when they're my pets, I love them all equally.
Mhm.
And I think, Marilyn, you are the same, but reversed for cats.
Yeah, I think that's pretty funny that like I am a cat person initially, like as far as first inclinations go, and then he's a dog person. It's like the stereotype of complete opposite. But we both love animals, and so whether it's dog or cat, or whether we have both, we'll just like love them equally.
Yeah.
What's your favorite weather and why?
So I don't really like super hot summers, but also kind of like the genres of music, they're all, important and good for, different moods, but seasons are too long. Let's get out of this solar system. Let's get into a planet in a solar system that has every season lasts a month and a half. That way, it's like, perfect. But 3 months, come on, get it over with already.
Cool. And it looks like that was all the questions.
All right. Thank you guys so much for submitting your questions. Thank you for being part of the Patreon. You're all very lovely, and I love chatting with you in the Discord. And and also it was really fun playing Our Life with you as I voiced Baxter in real time. That was really fun.
That was fun. I was that too. Yeah, a few of them were just in the first few minutes before all of that started. It was pretty funny, and we all hung out. I think we all became pretty fast friends from that point because they ended up using the voice chat a lot after that. But yeah, it's been pretty fun chatting with you guys in the Discord as well. The moderator, yeah.
All right. So see you guys. Well, talk to you guys, I guess, in the next episode of the podcast. Thank you all so much, and I wish you a beautiful rest of your time zone. Mwah, 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 mwah.